Hi, neighbor. Welcome to K Dramas for Joy. My name is Wendy. I love Korean dramas. I've been watching them for about 2 years now, and I would love to give you the opportunity to explore them as well. So, here are some recommendations of dramas that I think could bring you a little bit of joy to. The first one is a romantic comedy called Business Proposal. There are 12 episodes. It is starring Kim Se-jung and An Hyo-sop. It's based on a webtoon. I believe it's a webtoon. It could just be a comic series. Either way, awesome. Love it. I always find those are the best ones because they're written so well. The storyline on this one follows our lead lady, Shin Hari, as she agrees to stand in as a blind date for her best friend. So her best friend's father keeps trying to set her up on blind dates. And she doesn't want to go on blind dates. She wants to, meet and fall in love and do the whole thing before she gets married. So she asks her friend Shinhari to stand in for her because she's better at acting than her friend is. Shinhari goes in, acts like a crazy person, and drives the young man off. And then, the friend is hoping that the father will stop. Well, there's one new one, right? So Shinhari agrees to go on this one last date for her friend. She shows up. She starts the crazy lady act, and it turns out that the guy she's on the date with is the CEO of the company that Shinhari works for. She works for a frozen food company as a food researcher. So the storyline revolves a lot around her avoiding the CEO while at work so that she doesn't get recognized. But at the same time, she has to keep up the persona of the blind date girl outside of work with this guy. So it's really cute. Why, how, when, the grandfather cracks me up on this. You're going to love this. Because, it's a food company, there's a lot of really good food that's featured in this show, and it makes you very hungry. Bibigo is the company. You can see it on his business card when he introduces himself to her. And that's actually a food that I buy here at my local Asian grocery store. Personally, love the bulgogi rice balls. Oh my God, in the freezer. So good. Stick them in the microwave for like 60 seconds. Oh, so good. I love it. So I highly recommend the show. It's one of the ones I go to as I've had a rough week and I need to pick me up. So I highly recommend it to you. There's a lot of really good comedy in this one. There's a lot of fashion in this one for those of you who are interested in seeing that. And there's a lot of good food in this one for those of you who are interested in that. So 2 thumbs up for me. The second one I want to recommend to you is a high school drama called True Beauty. Again, this one is based on a webtoon / comic book. This is the first K-drama I ever watched because my son had actually read the webtoon and wanted to see the drama. So we watched it together. I got hooked. He went off and did other things. But yeah, I got hooked, and I want to get you hooked as well because, I need people to talk to about this stuff. So this one has 16 episodes. It has English subtitles, but not English dubbing. So if you can't watch it with subtitles, I'm going to keep looking for other places that might have it with dubbing as well. I've watched all of mine on Netflix so far because there's still so many that I haven't seen. But there are other channels and streaming subscriptions that you could go to. I think one of them is called Viki, Viki. Disney Plus has just come out with a bunch that I haven't seen yet because I'm still watching my Netflix ones. So the storyline is about this poor little girl. She gets told her whole life that she's ugly by her family, by strangers, by kids at school. So her self-esteem is pretty low by the time she gets into high school. High school, she gets bullied, like severe, like scary bully. I actually fast forward this. I've watched this show, I don't know how many times I've watched this show, but now I just fast forward the bully part because it makes me so uncomfortable to see kids and people do these things to other people. I just like to get to the happy parts. So her family runs into some financial difficulty and they have to give up the apartment they're in and go back to their old house, which they've been renting out. So she gets to switch high schools. So this is a chance for her. She takes this chance and she completely Cinderellas herself with makeup and hair and goes to this new high school as a pretty girl. I mean, she is beautiful. So the story is pretty cute in how she deals with that, how other people are treating her. There is the male lead who is the standoffish, top of the class, doesn't really talk to anybody, doesn't have any friends. He actually lives alone. There's a really tragic backstory on that. It doesn't bring you down, though. It's kind of cute. So there's some really sad parts in this, being high school, and we've all been through it. Well, not everybody's been through it, but yeah, some of us have been through it. But overall, the show really does have a really cute, lighthearted feel, which I said, it's one of my go-tos. I've watched it a couple times because I just really enjoy it. There are a lot of fun family and side characters on this one. There's one who's training to be a K-pop star, and he just cracks me up. Do have one warning on this one, and that is on the topic of suicide. That does the show's characters revolve a lot around the effects of suicide on people left behind. So, and how, especially our male lead, how has that changed his life and affected his life. But it's really well done. It's really well done. You'll love it. Okay. The next one I want to share with you is a murder mystery. Not usually my style because, I like fantasy and fiction and love and romance. But this actress is so good. And everything else I've seen her in that I had to watch it. So this one is a murder mystery, and it's called The Art of Sarah. It's newish. The actress's name is Shin Hye-sun. She's amazing. She's a master of her craft. So I will watch anything she's in. The story on this one reminds me, the feel of it, the way it's shot, the way it's done, reminds me a lot of the 90s movie, The Usual Suspects, Who was Kaiser Soze. The story is they find a dead body is found. Dead body is found. Nobody knows who it is. So the detective, while trying to find out who this person was, who belongs to this body, right, discovers all of the lives and personas and backstories she's had. So it's still really confusing as to who is she, because she's had this name, she's done this, she's had this name, she's done this. And every time he finds a new name and a new job and a new persona, there's like new people who would have wanted to kill her because of this persona, right? So it's really good. I highly recommend it. I spent the last half of the show wondering if my hunch was correct, but I'm not going to spoil that for you because it was really good. It's a slower paced show, so you don't have to chill out too much. Let me look. There are 8 episodes in this series, and it does have English subtitles and English dubbing. So for those of you who don't like to read that fast and want the English dubbing, it's there for you. High-end fashion bags are a big player in this. And to me, that cracks me up because I'm not a big high-end fashion person. But if you are, this is kind of fun. So enjoy it. All right, the next one I want to share with you is a historical fiction comedy called Mr. Queen. Okay. This is starring one of my favorite actresses, right? Shin Hye-sun. Amazing. This woman is amazing. I love her. There are 20 episodes in this one. It has English subtitles, but not English dubbing. So if you don't want to read the subtitles, this might not be for you, but I still highly recommend it if you're going to give it a try. It does have Spanish and Brazilian Portuguese dubbing. If you speak either of those, it could help. So the story is of a modern day chef who is... He is in an accident and wakes up in the body of a Joseon Dynasty era queen. So it's full-on comedy. This is so awesome. So he has to figure out first that he's a woman. Then he's got to figure out that he's a queen. Then he's got to come to terms with the fact that he's in Joseon Dynasty era. Then he's got to try and figure out how to get home, right? He's got to figure out how to get back to his body without dying. Because, if anybody's watched any kind of royal drama from any country, being in court is dangerous. And he's married, right? So he's married to the king. She's married to the king. And, oh my God, it's just brilliant. So the actress, you forget that she's not a man. It does help that the male actor is doing the voiceover, but her mannerisms are just spot on, and it is hysterical watching this modern day man try and be, a queen from a dynasty hundreds of years before. It's hysterical. So because he's a chef, this show has a lot of food, because food is life. So there's a lot of good food to watch. There's a lot of cheeky secondary characters who I adore. There are a lot of great sets and designs, and the costumes are gorgeous, and it's funny. The writing is great. The directing is great. It doesn't ever lose you. Like, it keeps you engaged the whole time. So I highly recommend this. If you want a comedy, or if you just love things that are in costume, give it a shot, because I think you'll really like that. Again, this one's called Mr. Queen, and it is available on Netflix currently. Okay, one more I want to give you, because I love this, is a historical fantasy fiction magic and mystery. And it's called The Alchemy of Souls. And I just want to go over season 1, because there's 2 seasons, which is, yes, and they're both really good. So season 1. So this is starring, let me look at my notes, starring Lee Jae-wook and Go Young-jung. There are 20 episodes. Again, only English subtitles, no dubbing, unless you speak Brazilian Portuguese or Spanish. The storyline on this one, okay, it's set in a country that doesn't exist, right? In a time, who knows? But it's the Joseon era costuming, which I love, right? Hanboks and all that. It's a story of a young sorcerer whose father was the king's sorcerer, right? His father has cut off his magic and then disappeared. So he doesn't even know that this is why he can't learn anything. So he goes through like 12 tutors or whatever, all of who know the secret, but won't tell him, none of whom will help him get his magic back. And did I even get that right? He might know that that he's been cut off, but I can't remember if he knows, if he does, anyhow, whatever, doesn't matter. So he's always in the search for a tutor that will help him get his magic back. Our lead lady is an assassin who is super strong in magic, but has to switch bodies to save herself. And she ends up in the body of a girl who doesn't have magic. So she's got to figure out how to survive without any of her skills. None of her assassin skills. She can't even run fast because she's a weak body, right? Has no magic. And she and our lead meet up, fate, chance, whatever, and she agrees to be his teacher. Even though she doesn't per se have magic, she can teach him, because she's trying to get him to have magic so that he can help her get magic. And it's just really cute. So again, a million beautiful secondary characters. If you're into eye candy, doesn't matter what age you are, men, women, they are all over the place. Eye candy, beautiful, love it. And they're funny. There's some really well-written, well-directed. The sets are beautiful. The art direction is gorgeous. I absolutely love it. I am a big fantasy fiction nerd, so this is completely my genre. Yeah. The only thing I do want to say on this one before you watch it is the first 10 minutes of the first episode kind of threw me off. I turned it off the first time I tried to watch it because it just was too confusing for me. I was like, I have no idea what's going on. It's kind of creepy. It's kind of weird. It's all the backstory. And having watched it again, and I'm really grateful that I did go back and watch it again, because by the end of the first episode, once you get past that really what the heck's happening, it's really good. So you get into it. By the end of the first episode, you're into it. So give it a shot. A super bonus on this one, there's a season 2, and it's just as good. So yeah, it continues the story, but different. So it's really good. You'll love it. Okay, one more I want to give you is a modern day enemies to lovers show called Love to Hate You, which title says it all, right? Love to Hate You. So this one has 10 episodes. There are English subtitles and dubbing on this one. Yay. The stars are Kim Ok-vin and Teo Yoo. So I love her. I mean, I love them both, but I've seen her in a couple other things. I haven't seen him in a couple other things yet. I've seen her in a couple other things. And she's just, she's got martial arts. She's got comedy. She's totally gorgeous. Love this woman. So the story is about Kim Ok-vin. She's a lawyer, but currently only works for a nonprofit. So she really needs a job. But nobody will hire her because she's older, she's a woman, and people don't really hire women lawyers and unless you're connected, and she's not. So until she finally does get one, and the only reason she got hired is because she's a woman, but she didn't know that at first. And there's a fun story on why that is, and the secondary characters for why that is cute too. And they're seeing the progression of their friendships and relationships is really fun. Again, good acting, good directing, good writing. The male lead is an actor who's known as like Mr. Romance, Mr. rom-com himself, the best screen kisser, blah blah blah. But in real life, he has such an aversion to women because he got so burned in this one relationship that he has this physical aversion to women that actually makes him puke if they even touch him. So it's interesting. It's really interesting how that plays out. And then how these two are kind of drawn together in that they hate each other, but they have to work together to help each other. They both get something out of that in that case. And then seeing their friendship develop and all that stuff is really cute. She also, she does, at one point, he needs her to teach him how to fight. Because that's what she does a lot of the time, is she goes around and she saves people from thieves, and she saves women from cheating dates or abusive whatevers. And so she needs to teach him how to street fight because he wants this role. He wants to work with this director. So he's like, I need to know how to really street fight. So she gets to beat him up for, a couple episodes, which is kind of fun for her because she hates him, right? So this is before the friendship develops. So this is a good show, especially on a Friday night, if you just want to sit on the couch with some snacks and a beverage, because that's the kind of show this is. It's just entertaining. It's something that's you're gonna relate to, kind of, maybe, hopefully. I think you will. Give it a shot. If you do end up giving any of these a watch, please leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought about it, because I would love to hear which shows you guys are enjoying as well. And then that'll help me give you recommendations later on. Like if you love the historical fiction, I've got like 10 you'll love right now. If you love the modern day romantic dramas, if you like the time shifting, if you like the magic, there's ones for all of them. I've watched, tons. So let me know what you liked if you watched it, or if you didn't. Tell me why. Knowledge is power. Thank you for letting me share these with you. I hope they bring you some joy. I hope to see you on the next group of shows, and fighting. Bye for now.